States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now is Reverend Ted Stackpole here? He's going to give the invocation. Thank you so much.
Thank you for allowing us to recognize our Creator today. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for the opportunity to come to you first before any related business is even discussed. We're always in need of wisdom and reasoning that is greater than our own. We recognize that the wisdom and reasoning that we need comes from you. You are the source of it all. So today we open up with this prayer to you. We release our will to yours and pray, let your will be done. Today I ask that you would bless this board with the wisdom to make the best decisions, whether in conflict or in agreement, an understanding of the true needs of our school system and community, confidence in what is good and fitting, the ability to work together in harmony even when there is honest disagreement, personal peace in their lives and joy in their tasks. I pray for the agenda set before them today. Please give an assurance of what would please you and what would benefit those who attend and work in Putnam County in this school district. In Christ's name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Please be seated and silence your cell phones if you haven't already done so. Thank you. Okay, we have a presentation this morning that unfortunately wasn't listed on our agenda. It's only going to take a few minutes, but we have Carla Shellnut here from UF. If you would like to come up to the podium, please.
Could you repeat the name of that college louder, please?
University of Florida.
Go Gators.
Gators.
For all those who couldn't get into Alabama.
Okay, Ms. Shellnut is going to present our Director of Food Services.
Yep.
The award for the Healthy District. So I'm going to let her explain what it's about.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm Carla Shellnut, Associate Professor and Extension Nutrition Specialist at the University of Florida. And as a member of the Coordinated School Health Partnership and the Executive Committee of Florida Action for Healthy Kids, it is my pleasure to present this silver-level Florida Healthy School District flag to the School District of Putnam County. The Florida Coordinated School Health Partnership and Florida Action for Healthy Kids, Florida Association of District School Superintendents, and our newest sponsor, Florida Healthy Kids Corporation, applaud your district for establishing a culture and climate in which students and staff can reach their personal potential and serving as a leader in the state in reducing and eliminating the barriers to learning, resulting in increased academic achievement. Putnam County School District demonstrated commendable scores related to policies and processes in the following areas: health education, physical education, health services, nutrition services and education, and family and community involvement. The Florida Coordinated School Health Partnership and Florida Action for Healthy Kids look forward to continuing to support and promote the efforts of the 36 Florida Healthy School Districts with resources, technical assistance, and advocacy efforts. Thank you for being at the forefront of ensuring the future of a healthy Florida by creating health literate and health practicing students and staff that are fit, healthy, and ready to learn. So we have this nice flag for your district.
Wow.
Very nice.
Smile, David.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Carla, and it's a tribute to our food service department, especially the leadership, that we get an award like this. It's wonderful. It's a great thing for our students. Okay, under presentations, we have Keep Putnam Beautiful. And she's doing a presentation of back-to-school books for us.
Hi, I'm Marcia Miranello. I'm the Executive Director of Keep Putnam Beautiful. It's very important to us to have our young people know about helping to preserve our environment. We can't get to them early enough to tell them not to litter, and to recycle. What we wanted to do is reach out to all the students throughout the county. So we talked to your curriculum people, and we asked them about books that we can provide to the libraries. So we have 2 boxes of books over here with books that will be going to every elementary school in the district, as well as the public libraries in each of our areas. We hope that the children learn from them, get inspired by them. We see more and more kids coming out to our cleanups every month, and we appreciate that. And hopefully they will keep in their mind to keep Putnam beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's a wonderful thing. And I have to say that I know Marcia, and that was her own personal charge to get that done, and we really appreciate it. It's a wonderful community, Putnam County, and everybody working together to help educate the kids. It's great. Thank you, Marcia. Bye. Next is Dr. Melissa Coleman, principal of QI Roberts High School, and we're getting a report on the Cambridge program, and there are some fine-looking young students here, as well as a fine-looking teacher and principal
Several teachers.
and school board and superintendent.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Jana Wilhite, and I'm the Cambridge coordinator out at QI Roberts Junior Senior High School. First, we'd like to thank Ms. Criswell and the school board for allowing us to have the opportunity to come and share the exciting news that we received a few weeks ago. Our Cambridge exams, our first round of Cambridge exams, came in, and they were absolutely wonderful. So we're going to share a little bit about that, as well as let some of our students tell you a little bit about their successes. And with me, I have today Ms. Kristen Carroll, our curriculum coach, Miss Hannah Hughes, Mr. Jason Gullett, Miss Emily Saccone, Miss Zakia Daniels, Mr. Owen Meeks, Mr. Brian Helms, assistant principal in the peekaboo booth back there, and Dr. Coleman, our principal at QI.
Jana, before you all get started, would you explain, first of all, a lot of people think it's a private school or a charter school, which it is not, and I need you all to kind of explain exactly what Cambridge is at QI Roberts Junior Senior High School.
Sure. The Cambridge program is a part of the Putnam County public school system. We are a magnet school, which means we serve as a magnet to pull in all of the county's gifted and talented students. So the students go through an application process to enter the Cambridge program. They show excellence in test scores, classroom behavior, classroom grades, attendance, and a strong work ethic. And once they're accepted into the program, they either attend K through 5 at James A. Long, K through 6 at Interlochen Elementary, 6th grade at CeeLo Overturf 6th grade center, and then 7th through 11th grade at QI Roberts. And then next year we will add 12th grade as well. So we will be serving kindergarten through 12th grade students in Putnam County. A number of districts surrounding us have had the Cambridge program for a very long time, over 20 years. St. Augustine High School, Fleming Island High School, some of the surrounding areas have the Cambridge ACE program there as well. But this program was adopted so that we could offer our students the most competitive benefit that they can possibly receive to receive university admission, because universities search for a curriculum that has strength of schedule and rigor in all of the subject areas. So it's not just their core classes, they're even able to earn college credit in their elective courses as well. And our students have proven that to be very successful, as you will find out very shortly. Now.
In the beginning, we began with a vision heralded by Phyllis Criswell during the 2012-2013 school year to provide more opportunities for our students to be competitive for college admissions and earn university credit. Currently, we had this current school year 1,150 applications for the program, and we have a little over 1,000 students in our county that currently participate in the program. That participation includes 2 sections per grade level at James A. Long Elementary School, kindergarten through 5th grade, 2 sections per grade level at Interlochen Elementary School, kindergarten through 5th grade, 4 sections at our 6th grade center, CeeLo Overturf,
and 4 sections approximately 7th through 11th grade in each grade level at QI Roberts.
I'm so glad that Putnam County adopted the Cambridge program, not only because we get to experience things that other counties do, but we can prove that we're the best just like we know we are.
Our 10th grade students competed with students in over 186 countries, 10th through 12th graders in over 186 countries, and our students exceeded the international pass rate in the areas of English language, general papers, and travel and tourism. Many of our students earned 4 to 5 college classes as university credits in their 10th grade year. Amazing.
In fact, if you look at other counties, in comparison, one of our neighboring counties in their first year of testing had a 31% pass rate for students on university credit. Our current pass rate is 67% in our first year.
Teachers go out of their way to make us feel that we are respected as young adults. We're not just a class of students, we're a family.
Our 10th grade Knights earned a total of 130 college courses this school year, yielding 390 college credit hours. Go Knights.
97% of the students in our 2014-2015 10th grade class have earned 1 or more college credits, which is pretty impressive for our first year.
Cambridge is a pretty good school because to me as a student, it's good to know that all my Cambridge college credits are being accepted by all the Ivy League colleges across the country. They're also being accepted by all the Florida universities like the University of Florida and Miami. So now I have the option to choose to go wherever I want to go and play sports wherever I want to go. And, you know, that's kind of good. I like that.
A QI student scored in the top 12% of the world on the English language assessment. 75% of the class earned their university English comp credit as high school sophomores, which is incredibly early to earn college credit. It's pretty crazy.
Yay.
A QI student scored in the top 6% of the world on the college level history exam. By the way, just in case you didn't know, this guy did it.
Wow. It's cool. And they always wanted me to have the best in life. And they also wanted me to go to college so that I can do the things that I want to do, as well as be able to do them comfortably. And last year in 10th grade, when I was a sophomore, I took like 3 Cambridge exams and I passed most of them, and I had got 6 college credit hours completed. So now I'm a college student.
On our university tour, the admissions director told us that Cambridge students get preference over other high school students. This is due to our rigorous classes. I like having that advantage when filling out college applications.
%92 of all QI 10th graders were able to earn college credit for their writing class, and 95% of the travel and tourism class was able to earn college credit for their elective. Last year, we put on Cambridge tours, which allowed us to earn or to gain reading, writing, and interpersonal skills.
And I take dual enrollment courses, but my Cambridge classes allow me to get college credit in every area, even my electives.
Here at Cambridge, teachers make sure we have mastery because they know in each of us there's a brain, an athlete, a princess, and a basket case.
And thank you all again for allowing us to be here today and to share our wonderful, amazing students with all of you. Thank you. And go Knights!
you very much for sharing that. These are students we can see are going to be successful, and it's a great program we will continue to support. So thank you very much.
And there is a volleyball game today that the Knights are participating in. Just wanted to mention that.
And I'm
'Cause
missing-
I have a special person playing, so
I
there
have
you
a special person playing.
Specialer.
Specialer. I got to outdo him somehow, you know.
Thank you very much.
The focus on academics that we do in the Cambridge program, certainly we have a lot of students that apply for it and are qualified to go to the program. It's not for everybody in the county, but those students who want to be academically focused and work on their future, this is the perfect program, and it's just wonderful that as a board, you can offer this program in Putnam County for anyone who qualifies and wants to go, and it really tremendously affects their future, and that's what you got to hear about today. So thank you all. By the way, you've never offered that before, so it's very exciting. We've had it for the last couple of years.
That is very nice.
And thank you, Rhonda, for working with us on this. It does cost a little more, but it is for our students, and it's worth it.
Okay, moving along, the next item on our agenda has been postponed until the October 6th meeting. That brings us into the public hearing portion of our meeting. This concerns adoption of policies specific to the Putnam County School District Police Department. They're brought to us by Travis Weaver. Do I entertain motions to adopt these?
you can read these and then we can move and accept.
Okay.
Yeah.
Adoption, deletion of policies per Neola updates 15-1 and 15-2. Adoption of policies 2252, 2461, 2800, 5330.03, 8390, 8470, and deletion of policies number 1122.04 and 2260.02.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on the floor to adopt and delete the policies I mentioned. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Same sign. Carries 5-0. Next is amendment to policies per Neola Update 15-1, bylaws number 01240167, and policy number 1030, 1120.11, 2120, 2260, 2271, 2370, 2370.01, 2421, 2432, 2460, 2520, 2623, 3120.11, 3130, 4120.11, 5111.01, 5330.01, 5516, 5780, 5830, 8330, 8350, 8462, 8540, 8550, 8700, and 9211.
Madam Chair, so moved.
Second.
Or Ms. Crawford,
It's
second.
okay. We have a motion and a second on the floor to amend the policies as mentioned. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries 5-0. And finally, amendment to bylaws and policies per Neola Update 15-2. Bylaw number 0167.1 and policy numbers 1122, 1122.01, 1242, 1362, 1430.01, 2260, 2260.01, 3122, 3122.01, 3362, 3430.01, 4122, 4122.01, 4362, 4430.01, 5350, 5517, 5780, 5830, 6100, 6320, 8405, and 9211.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
so moved.
Second. Second by Nikki. Any questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries 5-0.
And Madam Chair, could you go back and do number 1 as well? They need to vote on the first one. We didn't vote.
we
for
did. We had
Travis
3.
Weaver?
Adoption of policy specific to the Putnam County School District Police.
I don't think that's a movable item, right?
I didn't think that was.
Yes.
It is?
Number 1,
Sharon
what
says it is.
policy are we going to adopt?
It's just all the policies, I guess, for Travis.
Police department.
They're new? They're all brand new?
Madam Chair, I move we adopt policies to Putnam County School District Police Officer, Police Department, excuse me.
Second it.
Okay, there's a motion and second on the floor. Has anybody seen these?
I looked at them.
Just read 'em.
Did you?
Yeah.
They were
in your-
attached.
they're in your-
Yeah. It's an attachment.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Carries 5-0. We're at the we're out of the public hearing and we're in the public comment guide. I don't have any cards, so apparently there are no public comments. We're to the consent agenda. First, are there any members from the audience who wish to pull any items from the consent agenda for discussion? Board, I'll start with you, Jane.
No.
No?
Oh.
Nope, I got mine cleared up during the break.
Me
And
too.
no, for me too. So I'll entertain a motion to accept the consent agenda in its entirety.
Madam Chair, I move we accept the consent agenda in its entirety.
I second it.
Motion and second on the floor. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Carries 5-0. Okay, that brings us out of our regular session and into emergency session to deal with some emergency items that have come up since our agenda was published. First, approval of consultant for Aquila Elementary School. The justification for the emergency item is that it is time sensitive. I'll entertain a motion to
I
approve.
make a motion, we approve.
I second.
It's a motion and a second on the floor. Any board members have any comments or questions? I'll call the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Carries 5-0. The next item is personnel allocations 2015-16, change number 5.5 through 5.10. Justification, explanation, time sensitive. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I move approval.
Second?
We have a motion on the floor and a second. Any questions or comments from the board?
I guess I was just curious to know, I'm assuming it has to do with the FTE count, and maybe that's why we're deleting so many.
Moving them around.
We met in a big group Friday and Monday, and our student count is down.
And how much down is it?
110.
Like over assigned, we're only down about 134.
Okay.
Over projections, we're down about 400.
Wow.
So we looked at all the different schools and we made some moves and everything.
Is there one school that's been disproportionately affected?
I don't think, we had 3 schools that had 3 each.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And my question is, the teachers, I mean, do they get first rights? And I know this might be an HR question, but they'll be transferred first to that. Like, I know there's only,
Everyone has already been accounted for. Debbie worked with us before she went on vacation. We worked with the different schools. We gave teachers choices of
Certification. Yeah,
Right. It's not just based on seniority.
that's right.
And it was, instead of 510, it was through 513. There were 3 more on the next page, 55 through 513.
okay, thank you. And so the deletion doesn't mean they're unemployed now? That means they're just a,
Several of the deletions were, some of the schools were holding a vacant Title I slot, and they would move, if they lost a general fund teacher based on this FTE, they would move the person into their Title I opening.
okay. Oh,
We had
perfect.
several of those.
Oh, great. So maybe the general fund, these teachers would still be paid with Title I allocation. Okay, great. Thank you.
Ms. Odom, so actually, emergency item 2 should say personnel allocations, 2015-16, change number 5.5 through 5.15.
13.
13?
Yeah.
Will you amend your motion?
I'll amend it to say the 13 on the end.
Right.
Okay.
And the second, Nikki?
Yes,
And any
second.
second. So we have a motion on the floor and a second. to approve personnel allocation 2015-2016, changes number 5.5 through 5.13. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Carries 5-0. The third item on our emergency agenda is approval of money to perform probate case for purchase of Evelyn McPherson property located in Crescent City. Justification explanation is it's time sensitive.
Madam Chair, yeah, I have can I ask a question right quick?
Sure.
Yeah, what is this?
This is an ingress and egress issue where one of the schools needs some additional property
Middleton Burney.
for getting full access, and there's a sliver of property that is tied up in probate, and it's consumed a great deal of time dealing with attorneys out of state, trying to track down relatives and heirs, but we think we have a deal to make it work. And we just, in order to get it through the court system, we have to tie up this probate estate. And once we do, then the district can purchase the property and everything will go smoothly. We don't have to go down the eminent domain route.
How much money are we
I think it's like
approving?
$6,500 total for the.
So we're approving up to 10,000? Can we say something
Oh,
like
no,
that?
that's for the purchase of the property. This is just for the probate, and.
And that's all we're approving now is the probate money.
Yes, I'm not sure the exact number, but.
I don't need exact, just 100,000, 10,000,
We're gonna have
1,200. I mean,
Get us in the ballgame.
Yeah, five, less than $5,000.
okay. That's all.
And Scott, did you have something?
This has to do with, the Middleton Burney classroom.
Yeah.
It's all about Middleton Burney and what we need to do there.
Right.
Sorry, just jumping in here to help out. This has to do with the purchase of the property associated with the Middleton Burney Classroom Addition project. Again, Mr. Pageant was working on it, then she had a stroke and passed away, and she had lived out of state, but it had been willed to her, but it had never been probated in the state of Florida, so jumping in to help out Charlie, it's been kind of
Great.
complicated.
Right.
but
Well, that's
what it
great,
is.
Charlie. that
But the
you
purchase of
did
property, I
that.
think the lot itself, I think it's, and I haven't looked at that in a little while, but I think it's $5,500, so we're not talking about a whole lot.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions, board?
No, I'm good. Madam Chair?
Yes.
I move we approve the monies for, to perform the probate case for the Ellen McPherson property.
I'll second it.
Okay, Jane, second.
We have a motion and 2 seconds on the floor. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Carries 5-0. We're out of emergency session. Back to the regular meeting. And we have no old business to discuss and no new business to discuss. So we have reports by board members, and I'll start with you, Terry, if you don't mind.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. A couple of things. Of course, everyone knows I'm a sports fanatic, so I've been going to ball games and loving them. Not been loving the outcomes at times, but enjoying the process. Also, we had a real tragedy in our community. Stacy Lyle passed, leaving 3 children in our district, without a mother. Of course, that's very tragic. So if you're a praying person, the family would appreciate your prayers and support during this time. So thank you.
Mr. Buckles.
I was going to congratulate Miss Hawthorne, but I think she stepped out. She's not in here now, but I was really pleased today. I took lunch to my grandchildren at James A. Long, the 6 that are attending there, and they bypassed the food I brought to go into the cafeteria to eat the cafeteria food. So that's not a common thing. So
You cook the food you brought.
probably
no,
took-
I won't say. I won't say where I got it, but I thought it was pretty good stuff.
Cabbage.
That tells you that the lunch is pretty good when they go in and get their lunch and come back out and eat it. So, and I do have a granddaughter playing volleyball for Jenkins Middle School at QI Roberts right now, and I didn't make the game because of the board meeting.
And my son's playing for QI, so there you go.
He on the girls' team?
No, he's on the boys' team.
Oh, okay. I'm just messing with you. That
smack you later.
concludes my report.
Is that harassment?
That was a great report, David. Thank
It's
you.
going to be if he says it
I'll be
again.
civil
Ms.
defense.
Cummings.
I have something a little that's been, I've had several teachers and parents contact me recently regarding something that the district's kind of, the department head and principals have addressed. So I am really speaking for them. They all wanted to come, they're teaching and have practice and all these things. So I'm just relaying some information about the field trip restriction that I'm really passionate about, and I've spoken to the superintendent. She's very understanding about my compassion, because I know I bug her, and I'm like, oh, I just wrote something that I'd like to read and maybe get the board's feedback on something that maybe if the board were involved. It's we do have a policy, so that's why I didn't discuss it too much, ahead of time. So anyways, I would like to address the situation with the field trip guidelines that were discussed in a meeting with elementary principals on July 15th, 2015. I understand that some principals, not all, feel that the district needs district-wide guidelines set for all elementary field trips, but I feel strongly that these guidelines are in a direct violation with School Board Policy 2340 and Procedure 2340A. We have a policy that's been in practice, and I've still not really heard any valid reason that this policy or procedure needs to be changed. When a decision is made by a director and principals that is agreed upon by some representatives and some principals that affects thousands of students, I feel this is something that should be left to the board. I also know that all principals were not present in the meeting. I feel that since these policies were established by district staff and approved by the school board, they should be followed. I also spoke with our transportation about bus availability and whether or not it was something that we would be able to absorb if we do not allow charter buses, and it was very difficult, in fact, pretty much physically impossible to travel 60 miles if you weren't going to spend, well, you'd have to spend less than 2 hours, and it eliminates trips to the zoos, Alligator Farm, and all amusement parks in Orlando. I've been contacted by several teachers who are very upset with the new restrictions on field trips. I know some of these teachers plan to speak, or they did want to come, but they're very busy with after-school activities, and want to voice my concern about this inconsistency and miscommunication that has been communicated to teachers by principals. The consensus is that teachers are told by the principals, sorry, this is a district-wide decision, I have no say in the matter. So in fact, I was in a PTO meeting with 30 angry people because it's district-wide and they all assume school board. So here are a couple valid questions I've received, and it's really difficult because I don't have the answers to answer parents and teachers. So basically, is there a liability issue? Why are we changing a practice that has been okay for the past 20 years? Is there reasoning behind this? Why should, if the principal has a personal feeling about field trips, should that dictate a decision that affects the whole school-wide field trip? When this teachers do all the work and fundraising, why should the principal care whether or not the trip is planned if the teacher's doing the work? The teachers are the ones that say, we work endless hours, we do this, we do that, why are we being told we can't do this anymore? And I can understand that too. If teachers decide in a PLC, they have all this collaboration, and their department chairs come to the department leaders and they come and do their grade level to offer what's in the best interest of their students' learning opportunities, why would a principal or district administrator have the right to override this? Do they feel that they know the students better than the classroom teachers? Why is it not okay for a fifth grader to go on these field trips that would be more than 75 miles, but a sixth grader can? There's just some inconsistencies, which basically this restriction is just for elementary. And why is it okay to take a school bus 60 miles but not 75? It's just, where's this level coming from? And could our transportation department handle the increase in requests for buses for trips that would return after the school day is over? Because in the past, the transportation department's always had to have the bus back 45 minutes before school gets out to accommodate the normal route. So here's a couple comments that teachers have made to me, written to me, displayed, and I'm just passionate about this. It's something that I feel strongly about for our students as a whole.
Excuse me, Ms. Cummings, could you elaborate for me, because
What they decided.
what is the problem? What are the principals?
They are told that there was a meeting, there were some notes. I'm not sure who all was in the meeting. It was a principals meeting the 15th. They're told they can't go over 75 miles
On a field trip.
on a field trip.
This is all elementary schools?
Every
Only
They
elementary.
would have to come before the board and have it approved to go over 75.
No.
That's not even an option.
That's not even, not according to the thing that was discussed. But I know there's a lot of miscommunication, but that's why I feel like it needs to be brought back to the board to alleviate the miscommunication.
But it was
Nikki-
never brought to the board to
Nikki,
begin with.
may I say something?
Was it?
I think we need to workshop it. I mean, we need to workshop it. We need to talk it through. If this is an issue that is important to you, then we just need to do that. That's what the board's for. So
Okay, well, I mean,
that's just a
Well,
suggestion.
and I'm in agreement with Nikki. I've gotten several
I have to.
phone calls from parents and teachers that are very upset. And you know as well as I do that many of our students, this is the only opportunity they ever have to leave Putnam County.
Yes.
I just think it needs to be revisited and for us to be able to have some input along with the principals.
I've seen past years when the district did not even have field trips, and that was a disaster. Tried to go out and privately raise money and hold them, and I think it will hinge and be contingent very much on can Mr. Simons field enough bus drivers, and really the board, even though we have a policy that says the principal will be the one that decides, we're still a self-judiciating body. We can violate any of our policies at any given time in a quorum vote if we want to. And now Charlie would tell you that's not a wise thing to do, but if you have a question of a field trip, they need to come and just let the board know.
Well, is there policy that says we can't use charter buses?
no.
No.
Well, I don't understand
I
that.
agree with Mr. Wright. We need we need
Expensive.
a workshop.
But if they raise all the money,
There's none scheduled for the 4th. Is there?
You wind up with a lot of kids.
For
can't
October
afford
6th.
to go.
I'm sorry, the 6th.
My birthday.
So we
But
can,
no, it's
No, you're talking
teachers
so we can do it
hundreds.
then on Terry Wright's
Teachers do
birthday.
it.
I'll be 39.
Again?
Yeah, for the second time.
I agree with you, I don't have.
What I'd like to see, I'd like to see a really productive workshop.
Is that
Of
fair, Nikki?
course-
Did I?
No, that's fine. I just, like I said, it's just something that I don't know.
Hear all that.
Oh, can I finish my
Yeah.
letter?
Yeah,
All
I'm
right,
sorry.
I'll
I'm
finish
sorry.
my letter.
sorry.
Like I said, the state, I don't
You
know.
took a long time
I
to write
did.
that.
I
didn't
was-
you?
I'm sorry.
Who was
Nikki.
your principal in elementary school?
I don't, some crazy
Oh,
little
okay.
guy.
Couldn't read.
No. It's just something that, and like I said, the superintendent's
her
been
English
great, and she's wonderful about understanding my passion for it. So she's like, so I'm thankful for being able to talk about this. Most teachers, this was a few comments made by teachers. Teachers, and I try to, just talk to different people every time I go somewhere at a grocery store. We run into people, hey, how do you, or they'll come to me, and so most teachers, this is comments made by them, do definitely want field trips. We are told that we would not leave a 75-mile radius in our school, so that leaves us with St. Augustine, Gainesville, or Daytona. Not much to choose from. My kids are in 2nd grade. They loved SeaWorld, and the majority have never been before. They love to experience things that they never would have been able to experience if we didn't take them. This is the second one. I would venture to say the majority are extremely disappointed with all the new rules. These big end of the year field trips were a great way to reward kids for positive behavior, which I would assume goes well with the PBS structure our county pushes. I get it's expensive for the students, but every trip I've organized, we do fundraisers, which most kids participate with. A lot go for free. Those same kids would probably never experience Animal Kingdom or Epcot if these were not part of this trips that we do through the school. One positive thing about field trips is most of our students would never have the opportunity to visit these places if they didn't go on the field trips. And that's the main reason I keep hearing is they'd never get to do this. They'd never get to do this if we didn't take them, the teachers are saying. This is another comment. As a teacher, I support guidelines. I also support exploration. I would venture to say that field trips in the upper grades aren't as high as a priority for the younger. The pressure to take advantage of teaching time keeps them at bay. Personally, as a fourth grade teacher, our team never heavily pursued them. However, the younger grades, K through 2, rely more on concrete experiences to introduce topics and inspire engagement. This group, in my opinion, have more of an opportunity to allow field trips to standards-based instruction. I've always been a fan of bringing the expertise to our community into the classroom to provide unique learning experiences for our students. There's always a way to implement exploration. As you know, I think we limit ourselves when we say just field trips are the only way, but the end of the year field trips I support. This is a celebration of tenacity, and I appreciate your support and our great investments of our children. So that's what I have to say. And I appreciate the board listening, and I just want to do what's best.
Well, I did. I also met with the superintendent and talked about it, and it is not in her heart to deny children these opportunities.
Right.
It is simply a matter of the principal's input of what they felt like was cost-effective and most important for the students. But the board and parents sometimes have a little difference of opinion, so I think a workshop would be very good.
Well, I think what happened is the principals, the elementary principals, met with the director of elementary education, Laura France, and they had a discussion about workshop or about field trips. And the issue seems to be, in particular for our principals, these teachers are doing fundraisers all year long at school, and it dominates a lot of time and lots of things that it interrupts things at school. It can be very distracting. It is a lot of work for our teachers because they're fundraising, because there are a lot of children that can't afford to go, so they've got to raise the money somehow. The parents that have probably complained to you can all probably take their children themselves, as I did with my children. Actually, I didn't want my kids going on field trips because I wanted that experience with them, and I took them to SeaWorld and Disney World and all of those places as a family. Certainly, we have children that will never get that experience. And as I was telling Mr. Wright, I said one of my concerns about field trips, certainly our buses are an issue because they have to bring students to school in the morning and take them home in the afternoon, and we don't have any extra drivers. So yes, they would have to get charter buses. Now, this was not a directive from the district. This was a discussion at the elementary principals meeting, and they came up with these guidelines. This isn't policy. This was guidelines to help the principals. And what you have to know about our principals, as much as I love them, if they want something done and they don't want to be the heavy, they're going to blame it on the district because it takes it off of them. So that happens quite often too. But I think it would be really good to have a workshop and let principals kind of talk to you about their concerns.
Great.
Certainly, we want you all to hear what they have to say, and we want them to hear what you have to say. If we do field trips for students, my concern is we have children that need some actual experiences of something that they don't get at home, and a unit on appropriate behavior when you go out, how to sit down, how to use the forks, the knives, the spoons, how to go and actually take a field trip to a restaurant where you actually have cloth napkins and have to do that, how you talk at a table in a restaurant, things like that that they might actually need to learn. Those kinds of experiences can be done relatively close, but there are life experiences that those children don't have that it'd be nice if we could expose them to like that. And then certainly the SeaWorld and the Disney World experiences, that's on a whole different level, and it certainly can't be done in a school day. So other planning and fundraising would have to be done. But to have a full discussion and understanding about this would take a workshop, and so I like that recommendation, and I think that'd be great.
Where is Animal Kingdom?
Okay, and could we request that Mr. Simons be there, Madam Superintendent?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
And Laura France?
Magic
Yes.
Kingdom.
Great.
Yes.
And any principals that can make it.
Yes.
That would be wonderful if your secretaries could set that up and confirm that at 1 o'clock on October 6th,
Okay,
we'll
1
have a
o'clock.
workshop on elementary school field trips.
1 o'clock?
1 o'clock, yeah, that was the
Mr. Buckles,
normal
would you go
time,
ahead and
that'll
put that
give
on your
us-
calendar?
Don't forget, I'll remind you,
David, it's
Ms.
at
Crawford.
5 o'clock.
I'll remind you, Ms. Crawford.
Thank you,
What's at 5
Mr.
o'clock?
Buckles.
No, I was just telling David it was at 5 o'clock.
Oh.
It's really at 1 o'clock. I was just telling David it's at 5 o'clock. So
Oh.
that's how that was working.
Okay, back to board member reports. Ms. Cummings, are you finished?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jane?
Well, I just want to say I support Nikki wholeheartedly and her effort to bring this information to us, and I'm looking forward to the workshop. So maybe we can hear from some of the principals, hopefully some of the teachers. But I had the honor, Phyllis and I were there a week or so ago, of being present at Mellon Elementary for their kickoff for their new year, where Principal Joe Theobald shared Mellon's new mission statement and the 3 aspects of excellence that they will achieve: leadership and ownership and high expectations. It was very exciting. He and his staff are really on board and enthusiastic for changes to be made at Mellon. I've always thought that little school could be one of the best in Putnam County, and I think with Joe there, it will be on its way there. And I know great things are going to happen at Mellon, and I was excited to be a part of that. And I like, also, I'm like Mr. Wright, I'm very involved in the sporting events in Putnam County, and have been going to all the JV football games and the varsity football games where I get to see his son kick beautiful field goals and extra points.
Thank you very much for saying that.
I think all of our 3 high schools are going to have great seasons this year.
Thank you. Most of you know I'm on the board for United Way, and I have 7 very pretty invitations sitting home on my desk that I neglected to bring with me. But our annual campaign kickoff breakfast is this Thursday at 8 o'clock. Superintendent, anybody from your staff you'd like to invite a welcome. Superintendent has been working with United Way very well, has been a great asset to help us raise money. And I can tell you there'll be a surprise announcement. That's all I can say. Love knowing.
Where is it?
I'm sorry, Best Western, 8 o'clock.
There's one thing that I neglected to say. I did have an update from our lobbyists today, and we have been in the governor's office for this coming year, so the groundwork is being laid to go for $1 million a year for the next 2 years because of our First Coast Tech situation fits right into Governor Scott's jobs, for citizens program. So we're looking good, and we're working on it.
Good. Okay, well, anyway, the invitation to the breakfast, it's a free breakfast, and we'd really appreciate anybody's attendance. Second was, for those of you who weren't here, our attorneys, Charlie Douglas and Rocco, gave a wonderful workshop this afternoon and updated us on laws about bullying, harassment, and hazing. I knew there were 3. And also checked our policies and found that they are tight and that we have the policies that we're required by law to have. So Neil is on the ball. We approved the Avid contract on our consent agenda, and for those of you who don't know what that program is wonderful. It's at Palaca High and Crescent City High. It helps kids organize. Yes. Would you come up to the microphone? I'd love for you to.
Ms. Huff.
It really is a fabulous program. Thank you, Renee.
Yes, ma'am. It's also at Jenkins Middle School in the 7th and 8th grade, and also at CL Overturf this year in 6th grade. We were able to implement those 2 programs.
But IHS still has opted out.
Well, I'm working with Mr. Bowling, and we are going to take a team to a PATH training and go and do some visiting in hopes of maybe being able to plan and implement next year at Interlochen High School.
That would be wonderful.
So,
thank you for all the work you do and for getting this program to us. It is fabulous.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thanks. And the last thing I have, we also approved item L1, $8,000 expenditure. This, we are required by law to do. It's for a handicapped student, one student. And I'm not saying anything against, God love our handicapped students, seriously. However, the public has no idea all the things we have to do besides educate the children. By law, we have to do so many other things. And, you know, we know about the food and we know about the psychological and all that. But just this one handicapped student, we have to hire a firm to provide all the students, they also to train our staff how to deal with this student. And that's one student out of 10,000 and something.
But Kathy, there may be or will be other autistic students that this training that these teachers are receiving can benefit from. So we can't look at it as just
Well,
benefiting
I'm not-
one student.
But I'm not complaining about it. I wouldn't begrudge the
Okay,
student.
kinda
I'm just
sounded
trying to
like
make,
it.
I guess, the public who isn't here again aware of all the things that come with strings. All the money, almost all the money we get, they just goes here, goes there, and we have very, very, very little discretion with it. And I'm not saying we shouldn't spend this money. I would have pulled it and voted no.
The state doesn't appropriately fund handicapped.
Exactly. The state doesn't appropriately fund, doesn't give us enough money to do the things we need to do by law, we have to do these things, and they don't give us money to do it. We have to take that out of our very limited extra money. So another reminder about our workshop on October 6th at 2 o'clock. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, wait. 1 o'clock.
Ah.
We can do that later because we're having an instructional review at Aquila Elementary School that day, which is going to have people from the state, plus myself and the superintendent and Laura.
Okay.
And so if we can make it another day,
If we can do it on the 20th then?
are we good?
Yeah.
Thank
Very
you.
much, Helen. Anybody else want to check a calendar for the 20th? All right, so it's tentative for the 20th. It's pretty certain it's the 20th at 2 o'clock unless something else. And Helen, thank you very, very much.
Why was that?
Figuring this out.
1 or 2?
One or two?
I'm sorry, 1 o'clock. I'm sorry. Got confused with
Terry
today.
Wright told me 5.
No,
That's exactly
Kathy,
right.
Are we having
And I
anything the
stick to it.
6th or no?
I'm sorry?
At this point, we don't have anything the 6th?
Right, no workshop on the
Okay,
6th.
okay.
No work. Now, DJJ had one scheduled months ago, and they never...
Yeah, we need
They
to-
never did come and give us that. If you want to look into it,
Yeah.
perhaps they still want to do that. I know DJJ did have something back in May or something that they wanted to do, and they had to cancel. We're good? Mr. Board Attorney, your report.
Thank you. We went to the Florida School Board Association, or Florida School Board Attorneys Association in St. Pete this last week, and learned a lot about what's trending in school board law in other jurisdictions. One of those is bullying and how it relates to transgender students, and also with social media and how students interact on social media, how teachers interact on social media. And thank you for allowing us to come and present a little bit about the bullying aspect. As the months go forward, we'll have additional information for you on social media and some other topics that are at the fore these days in education law.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
neglected to say under my report that I'm so appreciative of having attorneys that are members of the Florida School Board Attorneys Association and are willing to go out to these conferences and stay up on the latest, and then not even that, bring it back to the board. So we really appreciate you. Thank you. And Madam Superintendent, it's your turn.
Thank you very much. I'm really excited to make sure that on your calendars, because you're cordially invited to attend the ribbon cutting ceremony of Mosley Elementary School's Live Positively Fitness Center, and it is on October 16th. It's at 9:30 in the morning. They were recently awarded this state-of-the-art fitness center through a grant funded by the National Foundation for Governors Fitness Councils. I think there's going to be all kinds of people there. It should be very interesting. So if you could put that on your calendar for October 16th at 9:30 in the morning at Mosley Elementary School. And certainly our attorneys are welcome to come and see it too. Also, don't forget that once a month we have a nice newspaper tab. Kurt Collier works very hard on this with our schools to get the information out. They do a wonderful job, some color pictures. It gives you a lot of information, such as Interlochen Elementary, who had Florida's Teacher of the Year, and some Florida Department of Education officials come and speak to their teachers and pre-planning, and that was really exciting. But there's lots of information there about our schools, all the positive things that are happening. And I, too, have been going to ball games. I started 2 weeks ago at Crescent City High School and watched them win a game against the Villages. Then I kind of got two birds with one stone. Friday night, I went to watch Crescent City and Interlochen at Crescent City High School. And it was hard because I love both schools, but Crescent City ultimately won that game, and it was all good. It was fun. Lots of the bands did wonderful. I got to see the new uniforms at Crescent City High, so it was really great. I also was asked by Larimer Arts Center and all the people with the Arts Council of Greater Palatka to invite you to a lunchtime concert at the Larimer. It's on September 22nd from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock, or any time during that time that you can come. Catherine Archer will be there, and she actually, this says, sassy, jazzy, bluesy songs for planet Earth. So if you're interested, I have the flyer, and they're right next door. So, of course, they come over often and tell us what they have going on and ask that we encourage our employees to participate. So if you have an opportunity, and you can do that. And last but not least, tonight, Palatka High School's FFA is having their annual Welcome Back dinner. It's from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock in the Palatka High School Commons. It's a spaghetti dinner social, followed by a live cake auction. And let me tell you, last year the cakes they had were amazing, but it is an auction, and some of those cakes people really wanted, and they went for as much as $150 a piece.
$300 worth of cake.
What's a live
Fundraiser.
It's gonna be a good
I
cake.
did.
What does a
Big with
live
kids, gonna be my
cake?
kid.
I have an engagement.
Miss Crawford bought about 4 cakes at the last one I
They
went to. and I
they
think-
had
them all.
they had some amazing homemade cakes, and I mean, people
Yeah, I
were
saw
bidding
that one.
right and left. They were really good. I wanted a chocolate one so bad, but once they got to $75, I was kind of done. And I think that was the one that went for $150. But anyway, that's tonight from 6 to 8, the spaghetti dinner. If you're interested, at Palatka High School. And great year, certainly. The usual issues that arise, and we work through them. And every year, you just never know what children you're going to have, where their bus stops are going to be, because you don't know where they're living until they get started. Lots of just little interesting issues that we deal with every year, but it's going well so far. And certainly being able to celebrate Cambridge and their success. And hopefully, if we get some grades from the state, since they've decided that the test was valid, maybe we'll have some more things to celebrate. I don't know. I don't know that I agree with them either. The testing situation certainly wasn't valid with the issues they had across the state with connectivity to the internet and those kinds of things. So that's certainly going to affect the test scores, particularly for us, because students who got on the computer and then the internet went down, and then they either finished testing that day or they had to come back the next day. Lots of issues like that as we move forward in this technological world that we live in. So we're also working with AT&T. We do not have good connectivity in Crescent City, and we also do not have good connectivity at QI Roberts out on Highway 100. In fact, the gentlemen that were here compared us to the Everglades and said we were the only county in the state that has the issues we have out on Highway 100 and in South Putnam. I did ask him to, that we
locations,
don't
yeah.
have anybody that provides service. They don't have to come. Windstream has telephone service in Crescent City, but it's not enough to power that internet service that we need for testing. So we're looking at a lot of options. AT&T is going to devise a plan and get it to us. I asked them to put as much of that in, actually, by the end of the end of conversation, he compared us to the moon. So anyway, we do have a unique situation, and I asked them to put as much as they could in writing so that I could take it to the state, because if we are that unique, we ought to earn additional funds to provide for those areas, because it will cost additional dollars to get them up and running. And AT&T is working on a plan for us. They should have it in the next week or two, and then it will also say how much it costs. It's currently not in our budget, as Rhonda's looking at me with daggers right now, because it's like, where are we going to come up with that money?
Well, maybe a grant because of our demographics. There may be
That's
grant
what I'm
money
hoping.
available.
Actually, I sent one of our employees, Justin Lettinen, who works with our IT department. He went to Tallahassee yesterday with a group from NEFAC to talk about the issues that we have in particular, and certainly some of the other smaller rural NEFAC districts. So that I know they got to meet with Senator Montford. I don't know what will come of that, but at least they will be aware we have an issue that's over and above what they've already asked for us to do and the money they've sent us. So anyway, that's kind of all I have today, and thank you very much.
The state really doesn't want the scores to be valid
Mr.
until
Buckles,
this
you really
presidential-
need to speak into your
Until this
microphone.
presidential election's
Thank you.
over, the state's not going to let a lot of validity come in these tests, because Jeb Bush is still running on this platform. And once that's over, things may clear out a little bit.
Well, it's gonna be
Madam Chair, I just
interesting.
have one thing. See, I want to compliment Rodney Simons for his hard work with the buses. I'll tell you, he has done a yeoman's job, and I will tell you, I appreciate his work, so.
He has a very hard time finding bus drivers, so if you know anybody looking for a part-time job, morning or afternoon, I know it's a tough job, and I told him, some of our administrators, I guess this coming summer, we're going to get trained so that we can fill in where we have to, because it's getting that critical. I understand the shortage of teachers across the state is becoming critical as well. Even in Alachua County, where they have the University of Florida, they were 20 teachers short, still looking for them. Marion County, 30 teachers short.
don't pay well
It's
in
happening
Alachua, by
across
the
the
way.
country, so not only bus drivers, but teachers. It's a
like-
cycle that's coming back. We had this before, and it's coming back, and it's not going to be good.
Like the
So
validity
thank you, Rodney,
testing,
for what you
nobody
do.
wants to go back into education. They don't, it's getting rough.
Yeah.
Well, we have a budget hearing at 5:05. That's why nobody's getting up, nobody's packing and running out. We're all just chatting. But I am going to adjourn the meeting now officially, and we'll be back at 5:05.